Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. One of my clients said to me today, "You always blow my mind in our sessions." She said, "Sometimes I just have to sit here quietly and listen to what you're saying and just think about it." I had to laugh. Um, Sometimes in my coaching sessions, it happens that I wonder if the screen froze or on my telephone headset, if something went wrong because there's silence. Today, I learned that my clients are thinking. So that was really fun. And that's what made me think of our topic for today: expanded thinking versus narrow thinking. How is it that you can get more confident? How is it that you can feel more confident? Often we have very narrow thinking. We come from a place, a belief system of what has always been, the way it was when we were growing up, the way it was, what we were exposed to, what other people, whether it was our family or society, imposed on us. And we grow up in very narrow thinking patterns. And as my sister calls it, traditional thinking. This is very narrow, and it creates kind of a closed worry that you're not getting it right the way that you think you should be getting it according to that way of thinking. What I've done in my life and what I do in my business is go into expanded thinking, ascended thinking, to think in expansion, in an expansive way. My tagline is imagine the possibilities. What if you thought in a more expanded way about something that you're looking at or thinking about in life or in business? And when you do, you can actually feel yourself filling in. If you imagine that something could be this way, what really it could happen this way? What really it could go that way? And my clients say to me, and my answer is, yeah, it can. It's on you when you decide that you want to be in charge of your life, when you decide that you want to be in control of your thoughts and your business, which includes your life, then yes, things can expand. Confidence fills in. You feel yourself rising, you feel yourself lifting, you feel the air coming into your body, you feel the systems begin to flow with expanded thinking. In narrow thinking, it's more like this, right? It's more like you're in narrow thinking. It's a narrow pathway. It's a narrow focus. And when you're in that narrow place, looking through a pipeline or, something that's very small, then you feel less confident because you're worried about getting it wrong inside that narrow space. If you open up and expand and imagine the possibility that you could do it in a different way, we call it in an ascended way. Do something that's big, do something that's bold, find your courage, find your voice, and be like, yeah, I'm doing that. Then you can feel more confident. Now, of course, it's true that you might have to break through blocks, barriers, or resistance to get there. Ask me how I know that. Of course, I know that. I didn't say that it was easy, although it can be easy. All you need to do is change your mind. But for most people, it's hard to have a viewpoint from a different perspective. It's hard to take on and see through a new lens. And it feels like it's squeezing yourself through that narrow place in order to get to the more expanded place. I met someone new this week and had a long and lovely conversation. And after a few hours, she said to me, how do you do that? How do you think that way? How do you change your thoughts and create a new way of being? And I said, practice. I talked about the 4 agreements. I talked about my own life journey, all the work that I've done, all the commitment that I've made, all the ways that I wanted to feel better in my life, and that I took responsibility for taking things into my control. And all of this led to what? Expansion. growth, infusion of soul consciousness, which is what we call ascension, and I call it enlightenment. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. When you are in this narrow place, see, even when I do it, I'm like closing in, right? When you're in a narrow place of thinking that things will always be the way they've always been, going back maybe even for generations, never mind, just going back for years or decades in your own life, then you're just working all the time in an unconfident way to, worry about not getting it right, not doing it right, not being able to fit into that tiny little path. In expanded thinking and expansion, where we can find the confidence, then we're breaking out, we're like breaking free of the ties that bind the old ways of thinking, through therapy and journaling and breathing and meditation, through prayer, through spiritual healing, through guidance from philosophers, reading, conversations with people who are enlightenment, hanging around with people who want to make a difference in the world, do big things and take risks. All of these ways are ways to be in expansion, ascension, and what I call enlightenment. The light actually goes on, like happened to me this morning with one of my clients, where she was like, I can do that? I said, yes, you can. And then there's this rise in the chest, there's a rise and there's a squaring. And then you can be like, I'm doing that. And that's confidence. Okay, folks, that's it today in the Confidence Zone. Thank you for joining me. If you appreciate this material, I invite you to share it with people you know. Confidence is desperately lacking today, and it's desperately needed. And if I can serve in any way, please let me know, especially for our young people, especially for our young professionals, and also, really especially for anyone. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. That's my purpose. And if you would be good enough to share this material and if you're watching on YouTube, I would appreciate it. All right, friends. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.